Well, I really hope this mic works. Which mic is it even using? Why don't I go take a look? Hang on, properties. What mic? MacBook Air mic? Oh, that's the only one there is, I guess. Okay. Switch to iPhone microphone? This is the thing. I don't know if you can hear me right now either. Because this says that you can hear me. That's really weird, because the last mic also looked identical. It had the thing moving up and down, so I don't know what was wrong. Anyway, the story I was telling you was that I got off the plane with an itch in my throat, thought nothing of it, sorted my 20.5 kilograms of Lego, got ready for the toy show. Saturday of the toy show, feeling good. End of Saturday, feeling a little bit funny. Oh well. Sunday of the toy show, I realized halfway through, I'm like, wow, my throat itches forever. And then just colorful expulsions out of my nose over like forever. I could feel the swelling, throbbing inside the upper nasals all over the place. Gooey, sticky, lots of hork and spitting. This morning when I woke up, I spat out 4 separate globs of colorful goop, which actually means that I'm mostly through it now. I'm just really dry at this point, so, you know, we gotta do it properly. But, yeah, the toy show was fun. And since then I got a couple things and thought, like, hey, it would be fun to try streaming from the dining room. But yeah, I'm not in Toronto. I'm not back in Toronto until next week, so I'm just hanging out here. But no, I mean, here's the thing, right? We all get snot, so in my opinion, it is simply diagnostic to describe what comes out of our face and our mouth. Now, I'm blessed in that I have the air passageway control to be able to kind of like maneuver and build up the globules. And furthermore, when I cough and they come up out into my esophageal area, rather than reflex swallowing them, I am able to force them into position to be spat so I can witness them and assess their color and their texture for the sake of my health. Diagnostics are important. What is this? Yeah, it's the right window. Anyway, Richard Reyes. Yeah, the toy show went very well. The people wanted to buy Lego, it turns out. But also, there is a chance whatever I went through was some, like, lingering damage from the, like, horrific, whatever they're called, nodules or whatever. Everything in here that connects the throat parts, the breathing parts, and the tongue, and the inner molars, all those interconnected nerve pathways, all were just inflating, swelling, and paining me a couple weeks back. So I'm pretty sure this is like some lingering damage from that. Irritating. Anyway, Dr. Lockdown, give me your scrapper. I'll send a carrier pigeon. All right, as soon as the pigeon gets here, I have to verify it. So make sure make sure the paperwork is right. I'm gonna shrink this window very slightly so I can better see you all. Look at you, bunch of text. Oh man, I'm just coming back into it. You should have seen me 2 days ago. I was not here. I was like, my mom said my eyes were puffing, which sounds bad. I couldn't tell because when I looked in the mirror, all I saw was pestilence. But let's hang on. Oh, by the way, I believe I have some lag going on. If you're only just now hearing me refer to you as text, but regardless, hopefully the stream works too, because there are no longer, as far as I know, like signal bouncers in here to make the computer start hopping on and off different Wi-Fi signals. We'll see. This could all go disastrous, but I wanted to give it a try. Also, I want to say hello to everyone who's here. PT and Mischievous Turtle and Tonbot and Long was here. SXO TV, Chris Muse, Chicken Soup, Delta Tryon, Robot Lore Keeper, Sideswipe Prime, Dr. Lockdown, Richard Reyes, I said hello to you all. Cliff, hello. Anyway, my eyes weren't gunked up. They were just puffy from my entire face trying to expulse, sin, in liquid form. But yeah, I was making very prestigious use of these things. I was blowing pack after pack of these. They call me the paper blower now. I had some Tylers. I even tried pill form NyQuil once. I don't really see what the big deal is, but you know, I gave it the old college try. I was trying to like malt one off to just have the new one as we have it here. Anyway, I apologize if my hair keeps falling down onto my head. I don't have anything to put in it that felt nice, so it's all au natural. I conditioned it today, so it's all faloofy. But then I went out with the weed whacker to give it all a good whacking, and I got all sweaty because the weed whacker is a piece of machinery. I did murder those weeds. It was so fun watching their hubris just like crumble down to pieces. Because the weeds ain't been tended for about 2 years, give or take, due to my mom's medical stuff. So there's a lot of catch up while I'm out here. We also discovered that my dad's van was immobile for too long and needs to have a part replaced, which is irritating, but it happens. Ketchup weeds. Oh, we whacking it. Now I was whacking it earlier, and I got all sweaty. So now I come back down. By the way, I was run something by you all. I almost posted this, not even in my own Discord. I was just gonna put this one in the Diaone Discord, but I'll put it out here instead. You know when you get an earworm, right? By the way, I remember the mic's like over here technically. I guess I don't know. I assume you can hear me. So, you know when you get an earworm that's not a real song, but like you've invented a song that doesn't exist and you've earwormed yourself? So anyway, I was sitting there in the washroom and I was thinking to myself, what if you took the real Slim Shady, right? And it was, will the real come stainy, please wipe up, please wipe up. So I want you all to live with that now, because I did for like 12 hours and I hated it. So I'm giving that to all of you as a gift instead of sneezing on you. So I'm gonna pop into some of the stuff. I know this is old hat for some of you. I never seen one of these until this week. Now I can't just go all whole hog punchy punch because I'm not my usual setup. I'm still gonna try to properly penetrate and simply rip the window guts out of this box like it deserves it. Ah! You know, what is the point? Like, what does this even do? It doesn't do anything. I just tore the box open anyway. Like, what do you do about a thief like me? Nothing. Gift in the German said, yeah, wave sign, correct. So I was, it was so funny, right? Wasn't it? It was less than a week that I was sitting here and we were all sitting here and we were like, whoa. They're putting windows back on boxes. What happens to the good old classic box shred? So funny. I don't have nippers out here, so I just got straight up actual meat cutting kitchen scissors. I think. I don't know. They get used for everything. I think I'm the one who actually informed the household these could be used for bacon if necessary. Anyway, I'm going to get this out of shot because this is already annoying me. I'm going to keep this window here. I got an experiment to do later. Quacky, what's up? Yeah, the window. Look, the window did so much. It stayed in one piece. I just pushed it until it came out. You think this window can stop me? No! Yeah, these are harder to use than nippers. It's like they're bigger. These are, in fact, harder to use than nippers. How do all you people are also go, just use scissors? How do you live? I'm a little, by the way, I'm a little punchy. I'm a little punchy salty. I don't know if you don't follow me on Blue Sky, then like I don't know, then I have to recite an entire Blue Sky feed. You go look at it. It's a link. Anyway, I was irritated at the fact that apparently notable human scumbag Athena had successfully cowed a customer into not posting photos of a stolen toy they bought. So I've been just wandering the internet, dropping as many hot bars on Athena as I can think of without swearing, because I think it's funnier if you don't swear. I think the last one I left on was to call him a half-deflated balloon with a swear word written on it. So I'm a little, you know, if I'm a little bit ooh with all y'all, it's all in good fun. I'm coming down, you know. I'm so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're all good. Anyway, I've heard the nuts gamut about Prima Prime, both good and bad. So my expectations are mostly just my own, which is that I was hoping this would be a weird guy who turns into a weird truck. It's kind of what I want. I may need to refer to pictures of the truck. Since it is a space truck, I don't have any point of reference for what he turns into. Oh, no, PT, I'm talking about a garbage Athena, not any of the good ones. So it's someone whose sole value to the world now is that they appear to have access to stolen test shots of Transformers, and they want that to be like their entire personality now. So they're one of those. This guy is neat. What's funny is I heard that our Athena used to have anything to do with VTubers until it, you know, got all sweaty and weird. But I mostly know that Athena for among other things, getting booted off every single Discord, message board, website, and 4chan board that I can think of. But also attempting to debut a toy at TFCon and then having it removed when they found out that he phonetically arranged Chinese characters so his company name was a racial slur. And then a bunch of people who spoke the language said, like, yeah, that company name doesn't make any sense unless it's trying to be an 8-year-old who just heard what slurs are for the first time. So that's one reason also, if you want to be critical on people who are getting a hold of, I guess, speaking of someone who doesn't really care about people getting a hold of toys early, I do care about Athena finding any kind of success or influence. So if you do see people getting toys early, ask them, like, hey, who'd you buy that from? And was it the scumbag? Because if it was, you shouldn't give him money, because he'll dox you. He's done it. So you should just dox him first, I guess? I don't know. That's apparently the narrative that ran on TFW I didn't look at, because I was like, I'd rather just hear my friends tell me about it. I don't want to actually go look at any of this. Yeah, Prima's really neat. Prima's also got, like, the hand feel on these hip joints, especially, are kind of like, they're clinching for me real nicely. The knees are funny, because they have this, like, lock-in like that, which is odd, doesn't seem necessary, but it does lock in like, the hero stance, so I guess I get it. Yeah, it's nothing to do with a Greek goddess, it's just someone with a try-hard username. Oh, right, oh, this guy's got a knuckle joint, so you can, like, actually... Yeah, yeah. It turns out, if you ever heard anything about racists and Transformers leakers, it in fact has always just been Athena. Yeah, the dab test seems to be working out alright. My apologies, by the way, for 2 things I can't control right now. Well, 3 things. Number 1, constantly just, like, throwing ham bone garbage on the name of Athena. Wannabe Black Marketeer specifically. But also, I cannot control the focus or the white balance, and when I was testing this setup, I already noticed the white balance sometimes changes depending whether my hands are in shot or not. So, my apologies for all that. Yeah, these fingers are made for that dab. I should try putting the funny thing into the funny hole. Let's get that open. So you got one of those. I cannot control the rate at which lobsters die. Look at that, you can put the Matrix in the Transformers media character. You could say you brighten up the... that's me. I'm sure there is probably some cool intent that I forgot about with pulling these things apart, aside from the fact that it's just different plastics. But this is probably... Is that 3 mil? That looks very 3 mil. And there's 5 mil things going on here. Is the matrix hard to get out, or is it... Oh, no, you just gotta give it a wiggle. It's a nice matrix, too. Like, they just use silver instead of yellow, but I think that's a cool look. These shoulder pads, I'm assuming they go wild for the transformation, specifically. I'm gonna adjust this light a little bit, see if I can get us a bit more even lighting. Those shadows are kind of hard. Is this Transformers collaboration, The Matrix? Yeah, I'm so honored and proud to debut for you all the latest in our merging of entertainments for brand. Thank you. Chicken soup. Army of Bees, welcome to the table. It's a waste run. Yeah, I had a waste run going. Yeah, Prima Robot mode is pretty much hitting it for me. I like this. In person, we'll call it mother of pearl plastic is catching shadows interestingly enough that it doesn't look quite as, stark as in some of the early photography, which I could have also looked at many a YouTube video to probably confirm that as well. But, here we are. I'm going into this, raw dogging. I'm going to move everything and assume that there's no way to accidentally break the toy. Overall thoughts on the HasLab Omega Prime. Looks pretty cool. Sounds like no Canadians have had any problems so far that are like as major as that first American batch. So hey, maybe it is a batch issue. Oh, that's neat. What if you break the toy on purpose? I would never ask for help to do that. I don't need to be mollycoddled into breaking my own toy. When's the last time you heard that word, by the way? Last time I heard that word was Christopher Lee saying it in a BBC radio production. R.I.P., etc. So all this stuff moves too, right? Yeah, look at all that. And this ball-jointed hand, I don't know if it goes in there. Maybe I won't do that quite yet. Lexus Silver, got mine, haven't gone through and checked Optimus yet. All I've done is transform Magnus once. Is it an antonym of mollyhwopid? I don't know. I've never actually heard mollyhwopid. I just remember that Christopher Lee was playing like a very aged character, and then someone tried to help him into a chair, and he was mumbling like, he's mollycoddling. And I was like, dang, that's a good word. I gotta remember that one. That's kind of cool. I like interesting tabbing. I am aware that there is an unsatisfactory lack of Katunk at one point on this toy. I think both TJ and Aaron were telling me about that. Ah, yeah, there. I think that's what they were talking about, or one of the things they were talking about. How like it feels and looks like this is supposed to go in more, but demonstrably that is where the channel ends, and so you just kind of got to live with it. Does anybody know if it's Knuckles sideways or Knuckles top in the official configuration? Let me know. Katunkability, yes, thank you. That's the scientific term. The hands do fold in. Oh, okay. Well, then, we'll just fold the hands in. We're gonna do it right. Do I just fold them in like that? Like, kind of crooked-like? That's fine. I just don't want to miss out on clever tabs. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. Give me all your clever tabs. Show me everything. Oh, they're kind of squidgy. They're not sucking in hard. They gotta suck in harder. Can I set all this up hard style, then fold it down? It feels like it would be more satisfactory to do all this now. He's the first Transformer, so he hadn't figured out full hand storage yet. I like that. I think that's canon now. Its hands folded with the knuckles pointed outward. What does that mean? Do I twist it around? Is it going to look any different if I do a 180 on the hand? Oh, it kind of fits in a little bit nicer. Seems like it holds... There's a little bit more room. Oh, I had it right. Okay, never mind. If only there was a piece of paper telling you what to do. I don't see one on screen anywhere. Now, if you're talking about something in the meta text, that's not the purview of me, simply a player in this. Oh, there's like, this is supposed to, okay, I can just hook this in. There we go. Yeah, I got the nubbins in. That's what I was just peeling in there. Hope you didn't eat these right now. You could. I'm on screen the whole time. The only thing I'm only having some delicious Schweppes Zero. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm just gonna say it. I think this is neat. That's a lot of slot for one little tab. Oh, it was taking up that tab too. I see. Okay, that's kind of cool. Oh, okay, that explains that. So these, I'm assuming, bolt together slightly. Ooh. We got it. We got... Oh, it's not... No. Together. Harder! There we go. I got that pinch noise. Oh, I see. There's little tabby, slotty things going on in there, too. I think that's neat. It is weird, and it's kind of angular in places, and I can see how it could bounce off someone's sensibilities, but not mine. I like this. Cracked in half illusion as Huffer did. Yeah, I can see that. 'Cause, yeah, it's got weird curvatures everywhere. Something about it, though, because it goes down and all 6 wheels are rolling, I kind of like it. So now what I'll look for... I was telling someone about this on the Discord the other day. Now what I do is I'm like, okay, where do you want me to put everything? Is this serious? Hang on. Hang on. One of the things it's telling me to do... to store the weapon. Did I read that right? Hey, did I read that right? Oh, sorry, this way. What are we doing? I didn't misread that, right? That's just... Stick the sword in the front. Like, truth be told, I think this would go real bad for M. Like, like, that's too much lead. Siege mode. That's very funny. There's a whole lot of other things that could have been similar to this that probably wouldn't have looked pretty... But that's... Built-in weapons storage, Transformers Generations, Voyager class, Age of the Primes, the 13, Prima Prime vehicle mode. This isn't even Evo Fusion, because this is using a slightly more bespoke hole. That's not just your average 5mm hole. Yeah, it's not playing nice with the 5mm peg. This is using a different, like, 4mm peg. So this is Prima's Fusion. That's Prima's special front hole. There is better storage, like I saw over here, but then I flipped to that thing and I was like, what are we? That's why this comes apart. Does this work? Oh, it does. Interesting. There's a peg back there. Because that can go in there like a funny mohawk. Or is it supposed to go the other way around? What looks better? Yeah, it looks better. Blade side up. And then this thing is supposed to go where? Are you serious? Okay. It's using a 3mm hole to go there in the most awkward way possible. That's interesting. Can that roll with the Matrix? They roll with the Matrix on it. Prima does not respect his own face, does not respect the Matrix, just drags that along the floor while he's going. I mean, you know, go to it. Cousin Prime! Why have the sacred MacGuffin be strapped to the front of the intended storage area seems dangerous. It gives it the battery power. Prima's got a lot of holes. yeah, you can put the Matrix in his boobs, which can technically be because there's also we should do this because this is a mode, you know. There is the officially sanctioned funny hover thing mode. Did I do that right? Oh, they just want them. They want them flat. Okay. And that's kind of got some Jetsons, like beady. It's got some Jetsons. I guess more like Star Trek: The Next Generation, kind of like. But then, yeah, this gives me access to his breast, so I could slip the artifact in there. Dumb Jake giving me the tag. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. And then while we're doing that, the problem is, this is the intended sword spot, so when he goes to space mode, he's just like, just don't look at it. Alright? I am literally the first Prime. Just don't look at it. Respect me, please. The car saber. It's funny because, like, you could just stick that right there, and it's, I think it's probably less of a hassle. But I like that there's, you know, lots and lots of holes for lots and lots of options. It's a radio antenna, yeah. What's up, Face? Face, I'm feeling less sick now. I bled it out of me by horking and spitting and glorping. Still a little bit there, but don't worry. If I have to blow my nose, I will turn the webcam off. I'm not going to make you watch that. Yeah, I like this figure. He's neat. He's doing all the stuff I wanted him to do, which was be interesting and weird, and have a sword. Like I said, for those who are just joining, I am aware of the crits on this figure from those for whom this bounced way off, and I totally see how this figure could bounce off somebody, so, you know, it's not like a skill issue. But, yeah, I'm really happy, because as I was reading the crits on this guy from folks who were not liking it, I was like, doesn't sound like it would actually bug me that much, so, I'm happy. It really helps that the hand feel on the joints on my copy are lovely. I don't know if that might be a Canadian first batch thing, because I know that has happened before with some Transformers. Like, whichever of those, it was either Snapdragon or Ape Face. I think it was Ape Face. Everyone hated Ape Face. We didn't have him in Canada for a million years, and then when we finally got him in Canada, Ape Face ruled. And I was like, I guess that they just waited to give us the good ones. Ooh. I should probably figure out a safer way to do that. Canada gets all the... Well, we didn't get... Hey, listen. You might think Canada has it all. Getting Alchemist Prime and Vortex sort of out of nowhere, for no good reason, really early. But I'll have you know, Australia got the Limbless Devastator box. Which, you know, I think was you know, a little bit cooler than us getting package refresh and you know, a really good helicopter and a really cool little pudgy guy. But yeah, when we, I'm doing this because all the Australians are like, when have we ever had anything? Which I think it's always my favorite thing that comes up when, like, another territory gets remotely anything. And then, like, Canadians will do this too. It's Canadians, Americans, but also a lot of us Canadians going, oh man, you said they got it first! They got it first! And then everyone from that territory is, like, pointing at the like, 8-year lagged distro they've been living through, and they're like, yeah, we got it first once. I'm happy for all of our Australian pals in the viewership and in the audience and in the chat. I was gonna say in the act, but it doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Nothing is cooler than getting to, like, just hop and skip, especially when it lets you hop and skip past, like, weird little bubbles of sputum like Athena, and you just go to your local store and buy a thing before, like, any kind of, like, contract is drawn up so that I sell you the toy for $400, but you can only show the finger articulation for the first week, and you better not show a single hint of bicep or I'll dox you, or whatever the hell his official communications are like. Where do they want me to put the sword on robot mode? Is there a spot? There's a spot! Actually, these 5mm ports, and these ones, and that one, these are 3 really good, just like, do you have any toys from the last 10 years, 5mm ports? I think just sticking cool stuff onto, like, you could put over-the-shoulder cannons aplenty on this guy. But also, listen, I've been trying to educate some of my Australian friends. Don't worry about the people who go like, how'd you get that? Because it's one thing I learned on YouTube, is that nobody can withstand confident role play. And I'm very proud to say, I've been getting some very fun screen caps from a couple friends. And I'm not going to take credit because people are acting of their own volition, but I feel like I've done my part, and we are spreading the goodness of forcing bad commenters into alternate reality games. And it's fun to watch. Simply lie to people in a way that's funny if they are leaving annoying comments, and then also put it upon them tonally that they screwed up somehow and should have known better. And in fact, they might even be in danger. If they don't send whatever I'm saying to them to at least 8 of their friends, then the uh-oh boo-boo poo-poo man is gonna come out the window when they fall asleep. And then, they'll disappear. No, the leakers have no actual contractual obligation except to, like, smell like buttery farts, I guess. But the little tiny little, like, the little itty bitty little, like, snot bubble guy is trying to be, hey, you better do what I tell you after I've sold you a toy or I'm gonna get you. And it seems like someone on TFW, whether it is gullibility or something else, believes that's an actual risk. You know, trying to be kind in my observations on all that stuff, but also it's incredibly swaggerless behavior. And listen, I'm a pioneer in the industry of making a bit out of getting a stolen test shot months before it's supposed to come out. I invented some of that stuff. So I speak from a place of not only authority, but parental disappointment when I say that what I am witnessing is not only embarrassing, but it actually, like, it makes me spit on the floor. This window's about to get it. Is that a request? We're penetrating. You're gonna come loose. You're gonna come loose. Oh, you're gonna get out of there for me. I want your window. I want your window. Give me your window. I want your window. Give it. Give it to me. Give me your window. Oh, there we go. That's the good stuff right there. That's the fuel. These are the bricks upon an empire will be built. What are we all saying? Hey, listen. We're all gonna try our best. Simple and clean. That's right, PT. We do simple and clean. Oh, I see tissue paper. I can't fake blow into it because something might come out. Quacky, trying to set up a chat overlay. This is yeah, that's why I went with the good old simple. It's just a window capture with opacity down. And then back at home, I stopped with the opacity because it's messing with too much stuff. Anyway, Iridescent, yeah, a lot of people saying, what sway do the middlemen have, other than the address they sent the toy to? That is all they have. Unless, and this is, I don't know if people were using a system like PayPal to pay for stuff. If they paid in a way that puts their financial info at risk, then also, at a certain point, with all due empathy and respect, if in 2025 you are putting your identity info at risk to purchase a Megatron from Athena, of all people, for like $300, and you do so in a way that puts more than your receiving address at risk, that is perhaps a little bit on your own ignorance. And this, in fact, not even if it was, even if we leave Athena out of this all for being like the little like snotty brat with like the little ream of endless embarrassing failures to his name, if you're doing all of that, putting yourself at that much risk, perhaps you also are a little bit at fault, and maybe should consider what y'all are doing. Because I just went through eBay, and apparently one of these things went up on eBay from that little cadre for like $300. So if you want to know the motivation for why they would perhaps not want something to go up right away, this does go back to my day, where sometimes sellers would try to set up private agreements. And they would say, like, hey, and I never got to be privy to any of these because, like, I'm too much of a troublemaker, I guess, and also don't have enough money. But they would be like, hey, don't show it yet, because if you show it all right now, I can't sell the other two that I have. But if we don't show everything yet, then I can more easily sell the other ones I got because they'll think they can do it first. And that's usually the motivation. Oh, yeah, also, I say eBay because it's the Kleenex word, but eBay is also union-busting TCG player to a comical degree of supervillainy. So if you didn't know this, like, if you're a Magic the Gatherings type, don't use TCG player right now. It is an organized boycott, and they also don't deserve your business for some of the way they have mistreated those folks. If you don't have an LGS... then you don't have a place to play that cares if you proxy, so just proxy, in my opinion. And if you can't do it nicely, just, for like a couple months, maybe just don't do it nicely. Just do it the fun way, with Post-its and Sharpies. Write on some basic lands. So I've heard some things about Scraper here, specifically about the handy feel. Now... does he have any, like, right out of the box things? Oh, he has a bunch of right out of the box things. Okay. So I'm supposed to fold this whole thing down. It was already in place. What? Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, I see. They want it to be like that. Okay. So that's the true configuration. Scrapper with elbows has always been a concept for me because I had the Unite Warriors. Oh, whoa, man. Oh, it's so good to... Woo! I'm just surrounded by elbow bending scrappers because I got the Unite Warriors, and then I got the DNA design kit for the other one when they were still a small company. I don't know the nature of a scrapper whose elbow cannot be bent. Oh, yeah, tissue paper. I'm getting the vapors over here. Ah, how many guns? 3. Okay. So these are your Devastator guns. They do that, I assume. Oh, there's even a little nodule to help them go together. Look at that. And then we got the bespoke little gun that's all wheedly and funny, and then we can give him the bigger guns. I think this is I am always a fan of like being able to stick more combiner parts in places when it's not combine mode. But also, are there any other? I can only stick it down here. What about the poor little gun? Is there no Gutai gun for the Gutai gun? No, we gotta. That's a shame. If there was like one little spot that I could go like stick that up there or something. Maybe there is, and I just haven't found it yet. All scrappers have bendable elbows, but some of them only work once. I mean, that's just a way of life, Robot Lorekeeper. I stumbled over your name. That's embarrassing. Robot Lorekeeper. I finally hit the RL distribution verbal tariff. Eric Palermo, what's up? I am in BC right now, so that's kind of strange. Can stick... Oh, whoa! Oh, you can stick Scrapper small gun on the side of Debbie's gun. Excuse me. Oh, there's a hole! Never mind. I take it back. It presented itself. Perfect toy. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. You call me Scraper! Oh, Scorpion. Yeah, I still like my Unite Warriors Devastator. I actually like both my Devastator sequences. There's just some pacing problems with them that I would have tightened up in this day and age. I guess that is kind of Evo Fusion, because it is a 5mm hole. A lot of hole talk this stream. Listen, the toys come to me presenting so many holes. What am I supposed to do? Go like, oh, it's a crevice. It's a circle that I can stick my finger in. I don't know. X-Graver. Oh, that's a name I haven't thought about in a while. Interesting thing that so far, because we box shredded Bone Crusher, so you know I have Bone Crusher, is that we're, I mean, I see other people point this out, we're 2 for 2 on Constructicons who do not have a true waist swivel. I'm guessing that his is in service of the, I think I've seen people use it. Oh! Oh, oh, that's heavy. Look at that. Ooh, that felt pretty good. How's BC? It's okay. It's kind of like, I don't know how else to put this. It's kind of warm out here. I moved a fan from my bedroom into this dining room because this dining room keeps getting cooked, and I keep having to like cool it down because I like sitting in here. None of them have a will. We don't know yet about Scavenger and Mixmaster. It's unlikely, but it would be really funny if one of them ended up having the waist swivel. I'd be cheering for them. Looks like he got bisected there. He kind of got like, you know, angularly half sected for a second. It was face. It was goddamn hot on Wednesday and it poured rain on Thursday. It's really yeah. It's, climate change has been very cruel to BC. It's been mildly annoying to Ontario. It has been cruel and caused the loss of life in BC. It's so weird to see it at work out here, like just because I grew up out here. Oh, what's up, Monday Adams? Happy great date. He's bisexual. Hey. Whether I'm filling up my... That invoked some Schweppes. Ahoo! My apologies, by the way, for my sniffles. I'm coming off the sick. Bunny East, thoughts on recent Toku? I watched all of Geats and I liked it. That's only a few years behind. Flame Kaiser, where do I go to pick up my toys? I sometimes would pre-order them, usually off GameStop because I get 10% off. That's the first place I look. It sounds like that might be getting better again now that it's going to be back to Electronics Boutique and has been fully divorced from the American corporate, as far as I understand. Maybe I misunderstood that. But that's the main one. If I have to, maybe Amazon, maybe Walmart's. But usually I just like see what I can find kicking around. Yeah, I was enjoying how the Tokusatsu YouTube uploads of Geats just kept all the TV bumps in, so I saw so much King Oger of, like, 2 clips over and over again. I heard the little riff from the chorus of the song for the Geats movie, like, 5 episodes in a row. It's very funny that they left in a lot of those bumpers and subtitled them. Is that the case on the Blu-ray set? Because I'm guessing that's just those are the masters they were given, but it's kind of funny. Because it's like King Oger is all over Geats. But only like the 2 clips. Did I see the recent poll results? I did not. It is on the US Blu-ray. Okay. That's pretty funny. I just have to imagine. Because it's a Blu-ray disc that they put out into full distribution, someone out there had to have bought it, saw all those bumps, and been completely confused. Just like, what's superhero time? Why did the Power Ranger looking things change once? I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. I think it is really cool that they fully subtitle it. Or, actually, even better, all those things that Ace's actor did at the end of almost every episode at a certain point, just saying, like, hey, did you miss that episode? Go check it out on these 4 streaming services. And it's like... none of those exist over... But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. King Oger is on HD Blu-ray, but only these 2 clips. Well, to be fair, there's also 1 or 2 movie clips as well, because they start weaving in the movie adverts. But specifically the ones where it's just like, there's gonna be a movie with Geats and King Oger. And so you get to see the King Oger suits do like 4 things over and over again. Abema, T for TTFC. Oh, wow. That part was also kind of fun, because I was watching Geats kind of story arc driven in blocks of 3 to 5 episodes. So, like, basically 2 viewing sessions per arc. And, most of the time, let's say over half the time, I would then watch the first episode of the next arc, just to have my little dessert on top of my main course. Yeah, that's kind of neat, because the folks making that stuff, they are given what they are given, but I really appreciate that they went full on subtitling all of it, because it brings that, for a lack of a better term, it brings that little sense of like fan subber pride of like, it's like a real fan sub from when it's airing. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Also, it was a trip. I talked about this in the Discord. I don't mean to keep just wiggling Scrapper here, but he does kind of feel nice to wiggle around. I also really thought it was a fun trip to go from watching all of Geats, right, with all the, oh, we got a raid, MRC, and their viewers just joined. Hello. How was Metroid? Um, this is the, hey, I think that's the first time I've ever been redirect rated on YouTube. So thanks, Emma. Hope that the Metroid was fun. Hey, PETA, the Emmys are here. Oh no. Is this, are we saying PETA as in television cartoons own Peter Griffin, or are we saying PETA as in the skeleton in the hamster cage? Because to me, that's always going to be the Prime Peter. That's Peter Prime, the one who gave both flesh and sinew and fur. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, it was a trip to go from a very localized, really well done subtitle, and you know, all the Geats subtitles I watched, I think were pretty solid. But it was an interesting trip to go from that. And then I went to get all the other Geats stuff I could find from like 2 or 3 different other fan subgroups, and it was 2 videos till I saw my first Desigra written out in the subtitles as Desigra, and I was like, oh. I was low-key wondering the whole time I was watching Geats proper, the episodes where, you know, in those subtitles they take Desigra and they make it the DGP, because that is essentially, you know, localization-wise, speaking as a layman but with opinions, that is essentially what the localized thing would be. But in Japan, when you have the Desaya Gurando Pri, right, much like Professionaru Wrestlingu gets crunched down to Puroresu, right? The Desaya Gurando Pri would be crunched down to the Desigra. Because that's just a colloquial thing. So, to localize that as the DGP, ignoring the part where it also literally says DGP on all the logos, it's pretty easy to connect the dots there. Like, that's one of my new favorite examples of the most simple version of healthy localization. Because otherwise, you have me sitting here saying, like, the Desigra, and then someone says, the hell is a Desigra? And you go, like, it is a portmanteau of some of the syllables of Desire Grand Prix, because that is a colloquial thing to do with a thing you're watching over in Japan. Anyway, all that to say, I'm going to turn him into a... What's it called? Is it a front loader? Is it a front loader? Is that what this thing's called? Anyway, I'm going to turn him into one. What else? I gotta fill in the Emma crowd. What did you all miss? You missed me yelling raw abuse at Athena toy wannabe pirate. Cause screw that little puddle. That was actually about it. Front loader, barely. Shovel car. Shovel car! Okay, there's stuff on hinges. Oh, excuse me. Oh, look at all that. Look at all that meat coming out the back of those legs. Oh, yeah, we talked about Prima's holes a whole lot. Could say we were bringing up the rear on that topic of discussion. I like this rotate to reveal the rail for these conjoined slotlings to go into. That's fun. That's the meat, but where's the potatoes? They didn't sculpt them on this one. You know, budget cuts happen. Yeah, boobs open. You put the thing inside. Quacky, you're gonna want to stick around for this, by the way, because the fan cam isn't ready. But hey, it's almost time to rise up. This feels like the right thing to do. But there's no slot to receive my genius. Oh, I see. Wait, is that for the whatever you call it mode? The thing that you stick on a whatever. Hasblo, more like Hasblo, no potatoes in the house. Wretched. Quick roll check. Okay, those are still on the level. It's weird because this feels like I'm on the right track, but I clearly am not. Elbows can bend backwards. Well. Thank you, Cliff. Look at that. There's even a little thing to go in. I knew that those holes and slots were supposed to merge. I never folded his head away. Oh, okay, it's one of those. I was on the left track, but in Europe. There we go. That's adorable. He's very, very square, all things considered. Usually I see a scrapper being a little bit more elongated. Yeah, I did see DNA design go like, no, we're doing pieces too! And I'm kind of like, dog. I don't think you can fart those out fast enough when you have 800 other projects already lined up at your factory. But, you know, we'll see, I guess. You know, maybe they'll pull it off. They have so much stuff they're already working on, though. I'm like, I get it, but is this a fruitful use of our time here? That's fun. This is more my kind of construction vehicle because this can just shoot a wall apart and then drive home, which is my preferred work day, if I'm being honest. Does this get to use the... I like it up here better anyway. Okay, now that I've done it, where do you want me to put these in the vehicle mode? Oh, you want me to put... Oh, okay, so I was right. You can also just sling this sideways. Get out of the way! If you want to show no hints of purple guns, because that might give away the game, that this is Devastator, of all things. You can sling the gun there like that. Ugh. Oh yeah, Cliff, I saw. Yeah. The chest wings can also do the funny flying front loader thing. Yeah, DNA are always just like, no, we'll do that, and it's like, guys, how many factories do you own? Because like, you could just wait. Who else is doing upgrade parts? Like nobody anymore. So you can just wait. You can just hang out. I'm going to see if I can, with my human intelligence, figure out the foot mode. Because I don't know if you all know this, but this is actually a part of a combiner team called the Constructicons, but the last thing they do is build, except build destruction. But when I say destruction, you might be more accurate if you were instead to say devastation. Damn, I'm good. What was this funny thing here? What is this for? Oh, that locks it. Okay, that's kind of cool. So that like locks that slightly. Phase 1. Yeah, it's piece. This is piece 1 of 5. Bone Crusher is piece 1 of 6. Oh, it's an ankle. I mean, I'm one of the ones who does it right when these things come out, but it's always funny to me because it's always like, whoa. Somebody made a scrapper, and if you stand him like this and you grab that, it does that too. Speaking of sinuses, give me a sec here. I think I'm gonna mute up for a moment and do something funny. If I do this like that, and then. Wouldn't it be disgusting if I actually just blew my nose into this and then held it in front of you all like a prize? Wouldn't that be disgusting? Wouldn't it be horrible if I opened this up and what if I opened this up and then I was like, you'll never guess the size of the thing that came out of my nose. What's going on with my sinuses? Let me tell you. What a sip. Anyway. It's me. I'm back. So yeah, look, it's even when I was a child and I got my very first scrapper, I did this and was like, one day, that's going to be connected to a whole body, and then I'm going to be the master of Devastator. And if you're telling me that as a child in that position you didn't do that, you are literally lying to me. I know you're saying, like, actually, I'm the one who's not lying to you. Maybe you're lying to yourself. Oh, PETA. Hi, T-Fan. In that exact voice. It's weird how we all get loaded in with that as our base voice pack. It's so hard to go to school and like figure out who's talking about or to whom. That's in there real tight. Holy moly. His head is in here. Don't forget that Thank You Long was here. I got you covered. Oh, that's a good dabbing arm, actually. Hang on. Like, that naturally can just swing up. And there is also this, like... I've heard folks speak legend of this. This, like, sort of... semi-butterflied... motion driver system in the shoulders, which is pretty dang cool. Oh, we don't talk about the pediatric nature of Devastator's foot designs, because then we'd be here all day. We'd be here... I forgot to do the rest of this, by the way. We'd be here all day. That guy's got messed up feet. Ooh. He looks really cool in this shot. Oh, Face, you and T... Okay, yeah, you're all... Yeah, happy ending. You know what it does here? It doesn't have messed up feet. Mecha Invasion. Listen, Mecha Invasion just built better. I don't make the rules. I do make one rule, though, which is that it's time. It's time. Quacky, I hope you're here somewhere. Maybe in Vodland, but it's time. Q Crew, rise up! I got the good one. I'm so excited to share this with all of you. It's been a long time coming for me and the rest of the Q Crew. Waiting for the genetically most handsome Transformer. Look at the shape of that skull plate, you know, as they say in the Manosphere podcasting universe. I have been ready for this for like 10 minutes. Let's just get. Oh, he even has a better package. I can't just because there's less grip strength to be had up here. But yeah, Q Crew, let me tell you, the fan cam, it's almost here. It's almost here. And then the whole world's gonna change. Oh, there we go. We're in. 2 fingers. That's all we need. And then we just gotta... Oh, that's deep in there. That's deep in there. My favorite part about finding Q is the first person who said anything to me when I posted a picture of the fact that I found Q was they said, put it back. You know, Q Crew, we're the brave ones. We're the ones who are, like, out there changing the world. In ways they don't understand. You know, the Q Crew, you all know what I mean, but, you know, the normies, they don't get it. Oh, look at that specimen right there. I'll drink to that. Pinky's out for Q. Yeah. Just a good chap. Yeah, Q defeats Scrapper. He's so strong. The box calls him Wheeljack parentheses Q. He is, by the way, fully licensed. Yeah, there is a local radio station on Vangelus Island that named themselves after this character because he's so beloved over here. Oh, I've got Schweppes Ginger Ale Zero Sugar, something I can find very easily here, and I never see it in Toronto. It puts me in a happy place. Also makes my throat happier. Ah, there's his iconic lab coat. Yeah, I tried Canada Dry Zero. It's just fine, but it bounced off me compared to Schweppes Zero. I've got that cilantro gene where, like, it's the Schweppes that tastes better to me. It's the Canada Dry that has the soapier flavor. Oh, it's Q's gun! Remember that from that scene? I do. Trent Salamander, what's up? I'm just, the Q Crew is rising right now. You know, that fan cam, it's gonna be here any day. And, we can't wait to change the world. The Q Crew. We're the ones who hold the fandom together. You know, we do a lot of work behind the scenes, and we appreciate each other for it. But yeah, you get Q's famous gun, the Q gun, and then you get Q's famous rifle, the Q staff. And what's kind of cool is if you put them together, it kind of looks like the letter Q. It does, if you're in the crew. So, I was gonna really take in for a sec. Like, finally, you can see all the motifs that were crafted for this character: the lab coat, and the gorgeous face. Oh, yeah, Q crew, rise up! Oh yeah, the differently shaped wrenches, the various accoutrements and grenades and tools and gizmos. Um, it's great because it's really cool how Q doesn't die in the movie. That's like one of the best parts of Dark of the Moon. Yeah, they kill off a lot of other more useless characters, but I'm really glad that, like, the filmmakers, they understand cinema, and they understand cinema, and they understand mythology. Now, obviously, we do have to do the big test. And what a test it will be, because look at this. The inventor of the dab himself pulls it so tight. Let's see. I'm reticent to turn him into his inferior mode because, like, why would you not want to look at this? But, like, I gotta give it a try at least. It's licensed after all. Yeah, Q fam. I can't wait. The fan cam, it's incoming. It's almost here. We're gonna change the entire goddamn fandom when that happens. Any day now. Get that, it even flaps up like when he gets that gust of wind under him. Yeah, T-Fan page, very agreed. They botched all of the iconic shapes and silhouettes. It's like they stopped listening to the fans. The real fans. Have a good night if you have to tap out. I understand. It's a lot. The first time I saw Q, I lost consciousness for like a month. It was worth it, though. I saw the future. I do have one more fun little activity to do after we play with our toys here, which is I need to use their windows to test something. It's related to something you maybe have been looking at in the background for this entire stream. I kind of want to do a dedicated stream about a bunch of Diaclone stuff with Aaron again, because when we did the X1 stream, I thought that was actually incredibly fun. Where does the roof go? Oh, it comes from his arms. Oh, look at that. Mwah! It's actually kind of odd. I can't discern how these roof parts come together. That's on me. Because this toy is... Oh, I see. I got it. But yeah, I got something I got to test somewhat imminently with a thing that I got this weekend from Face. Although the test is more so with the thing I brought to make the thing I got from Face needs to kiss a certain other thing that I have that I brought along. You could say this is the real Alpha Q. That one was for Bilmu. To harass him. Like, I know you're really part of the Q crew. Don't worry, the fan cam, it's going to be here any day now. This is actually, now that I'm seeing how the transformation works, if this all tabs together at the end, kind of like Hot Rod, I'm going to kind of dig this. It's not as good as Hot Rod, but there's some neat ideas going on to make this remotely work. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it does! Okay. So yeah, the car mode finally goes together. It sticks together. Oh, I'm referring to the Last Night Hot Rod, you know, the real Hot Rod, the G1 Hot Rod. Not that 1986 Season 3 nonsense. I'm talking about real G1, the Last Night. Are there bespoke places? Because I see little pegs that are not normal here. So does this go into spots? Where do you want me to put the guns? Oh, there's so many places to put the guns in robot mode. I didn't even try them. Oh, we took the coward's way out. Stick the whole thing onto the side. Oh yeah, so it's smooth on that side. And there's a little hole over there. I mean, that is very classic. Like, what more of a Michael Bay directed movie line is there visually than a licensed car with a long stick of stuff bolted to one side? But yeah, SMH though, like absolutely, like friggin'. Hang on, how can I do this best? Lazy, lazy, lazy. Well, I'm going to turn this back into the better mode now. Also, how are you all doing? The month of May is about to come to a close, which means the summer is looming. I misread that for a second as me saying the month of May is about to close and the summer is looming, and a bunch of you just going, good! Like, alright, the month of May has crossed everybody. It is honor bound to die at their hands. Yeah, I mean, I figure that they were able to just steal the alt mode from Hot Wheels because they have that whole, like, collaboration thing going on. It's probably, like, part of the trade. 19 more school days. Gadang. Oh, Quacky, I'm glad you were here, because, yeah, I mean, you know, it's up to us to hold down the fort, right? Like, we're keeping it together. Oh, yeah, my mom's doing okay. She's doing exponentially better than she was in January, which was exponentially better than she was in October, which was infinitely better than she was in the summer. Which is to say, she's still not nearly at 100%, but, you know, you gotta just keep going and going when, you go through something like that. I was telling her if the streaming thing works and she feels like she actually wants to do it, when I first went over to caretake, when she was stuck at that hotel, as in her first week and a half of outpatient, there was a single just depressing Toys R Us down the street, And in lieu of anything else to do, I bought some Lego minifigure blind packs there because they had like a buy two get one sale, and I never opened them, and they're still here. And I was telling her like, hey, we could do a little stream and open those Lego minifigures I bought from the depressing Toys R Us down the street. But I don't want to make any promises because that kind of thing entirely requires like her to actually want to do that. And feel up for it. But I ran the idea because I know, y'all, the fans, are out there. Toys R Us is now closed. Oh, yeah, it is. There's a lot of, like, weird, just little things to me that represent that summer and how unpleasant it was. And those little minifigures are kind of like this last lingering artifact of a lot of that. So, what better way to conquer them once and for all forever than to live stream their destruction? Or at least their de-cocooning. I'll take it easy, T-Fan. Yeah, we're gonna de-glove those Lego boxes. Strip them for parts and eat them. Ah! So how do they want me to... Okay, they want me to stick this thing on there. We keep that word, always keep a cool copy of that word on tap just for you, Chris Muse. It's how you know. It's like a place where everybody knows your name. Okay, so this is really the extent of the storage. It's just like, keep it stuck to that one funny hole we made. Alright, take it easy, face. Alright, and then they tell me to... Oh. Put the famous pistol in the different hand. You're supposed to just stick this in here like this. Which is completely normal. I thought I saw a light flickering for a sec. Oh yeah, Face, hit me up on Sunday, and I should be fine. But hit me up and check in then, just to be like triple sure. You feel unlucky, lad. Yeah, that's how you hold a cue stick. He's not. He's compensating simply for, his war-torn shoulder. An LED bulb is flickering. It thinks I can't see it, but I can see it happening. I got you. Anyway. Ah, what a milestone in the long history of the Q crew. We're finally here. We can all have our own little Q Prime. Right there with us. No, it's just an LED bulb stuck over a table. It thinks it's dying. That just means it's gonna get better. That's leadership. So, what I want to test is related to Diaone Convoy. Now, this is the Pop 01 knockoff. That's important. I'm going to take all this stuff off his back. This is from the DA85 powered grater that I got off of Face last weekend. So, most all of it fits together onto the knockoff completely fine. However, there is one part that did not fit quite as well, which was the funny cockpit. So, for the powered convoy thing, this is a real Diaclone piece, is supposed to fit into here like this. Now, I've already modded it very slightly, but you might notice that other one, right, when I put this one in here, it's like, click, right? The knockoff clicks into the knockoff. This one does not. And in fact, right now, I could probably, oh no, I modded it just enough. But if I'm transforming this thing a lot, eventually it shakes loose. So, what I determined is there's a couple little screws here and here. This inner gray frame, right, was screwed in super tight to the knockoff, and I think that made it bow outwards a bit, widening its ability to grip, and so thus loosening its ability to grip on whatever goes inside. And the knockoff version of this, these little circular crossy things protrude a bit more than on these real ones. So this is not a perfect sample, because I'd like to look at a few more bullet cores back at home. However, what I thought I'd do first is loosen those screws so that the stuff doesn't get bowed outwards from pressure like this, right? And then start pushing it inwards like this. If I lift up these little missile covers, I can get a better grip on it to show you what I mean. But now, there is some discernible wiggle, right? So, if I push them all the way in like that, this thing clips in there a little bit better and stays in quite nicely. Not perfectly, though. So, well, not perfectly in that it also eventually pushes these back out. So, what I want to try to do is cut me some bracers. He's taking a nap, that's all. He's keeping an eye on the rear because they might crawl in through the side, the enemy. So much like I did for Thrilling 30 Blitzwing, my little theory is that I can just like slip a piece of this in here to keep that little extra micrometer or so on either side. Oh! Oh, that's good! It worked! Okay. Oh, that's doing work. Yeah, that's in there nice now. But, yeah, does the bootleg cockpit fit in still? Or is this going to be an issue? That still fit in. If I flip the head up, does it go all the way in? It should, because in the back there's no more additional pressure. So that went into there. And if I have done all of that, does this still fit in, or did I just bust them out of the way? No, it's still feeling pretty good. This might have been the fix I was hoping for. Because, for the bootleg ones, right, what I want to do, I don't know if I have something that uses that slide-click version of the bullet core rail system. So, eventually, hopefully, I can get a hold of, like, a Triverse thing and see if this is just too big in general, but it feels like it's sticking out too much. And I was thinking of giving it the old Omega Prime spine treatment. Just a little shush-shush. Take some of the edge off. Because the other knockoff bullet core, similarly, it just feels like it's sticking out a hell of a lot compared to these ones. Shake test. I mean, yeah. Like, nothing's happening. That's all it needed, was that extra little bit of pinch. Yeah, this is why we need plastic windows, so we can make little shims. But yeah, we've got this whole little array of bullet cores going on now. By the way, Powered Grader is a super neat set. I am amazed that some of its parts were never rerun. Like this part got rerun once in a limited set that apparently nobody ordered, so barely any of them exist. This is the L frame. It is the top of a Triverse body, so that's a waist connector. It's got rail slide things. It's got flip up pegs on either side, so if you flip them up, you can go onto the back of anything with those pegs in that certain arrangement. It's a place for rail slider things to go. And then over here, they have the T launcher thing, which is the L slide, right? But you can fold this part back, or fold this up, and now it's a T. It can flip out a groin that, like, can then also separate to be a top and a bottom machine. Like, there's so much friggin' stuff going on. I really hope that with this current run on Diaclone, celebrating the 10th anniversary with, like, X1, and now doing a reissue of Diabattles V2, I hope that we see reissues of more of these parts coming out, because the X1 is such a, like, keystone to this whole play pattern, that I feel it behooves them to get some reissues of these highly modular parts out, because the X1 is giving bonus function to all of it, and is new. That said, this knockoff, the POP-01 Original Optimus Prime, as it's called, super solid toy. It doesn't feel as good as real Diaclone, but that still means it feels great. Which is, it's kind of just a testament to Diaclone Reboot, but, like, a knockoff that doesn't feel as good, still feels real good and playable. Yeah, where's the other thing? Here it is. Here's, like, the other Powered Grader thing. But yeah, I was thinking it'd be fun when I get back to Toronto to do, like, a sit-down play, like, just a play sesh chat gab stream with Aaron, and bust out, like, the two Diabattles and Battle Buffalo and Big Powered and this thing and Convoy, and just, like, stick parts into parts and yammer for a bit. Seems like it'd be a good time. Here's the fourth bullet core that I've got now for all this stuff. But yeah, this Powered Grader thing, I did a trade with Face for it. For T-30 Blitzwing, I cut little rectangles of that window stuff, and then glued them in 2 stepped layers to create a ridge for his shoulders to hook into. And on mine it worked, and everyone had told me they tried not everyone, but a lot of people who told me they tried to do what I was describing said it didn't work for them, and I was like, well, I don't know, mine works, and that's the most important one. But basically I cut and super glued little rectangles of plastic window to create like a little beveled lip for the shoulders to like go onto. I might have also used some of that blacklight activated goop stuff to like build up the other existing ledges. So I was just kind of like freewheeling it because like that area on Blitzwing is not super visible. So I was like, whatever. Like it looks a little bit hand built now, but also the toy does what I want it to do. Which is arguably the most important thing. Is it does what I tell it. It's like, it's not doing what you tell it to, it can't hear you. It's like, no, it can! But no, it was to basically just create extra friction for Blitzwing to have for the shoulders, because it otherwise was trying to, if I remember correctly at least, it was trying to grab onto friction that wasn't there. So I supplied some bonus friction. Hello, Sebastian. Just gonna do a funny little thing to illustrate something else, because this is not a rant, this is just a statement of fact. Around about the time that Powered Greater came out, a lot of English language Diaclone reboot coverage started to taper off, probably because of the cost of keeping up with it, especially with that being in the early 2020s when all the funny pandemic stuff was starting to, I think, like truly affect people's ability to do like overseas buying of Japanese toys. At least in my case, that's when like all of the like Japan Post and everything like just stopped shipping stuff. But it means that, in my opinion, it can be a little bit confusing to know what anything does, with the Powered Greater set, especially. So, I wanted to show you all, like, here's the top, I'm making the top machine off of Battle Convoy. Yeah, and then the cargo ships got stuck in the canal, and then, you know, all the... Everyone trying to make objects were just like, dang, it keeps happening. Well, Battle Convoy is a top machine and a bottom machine, because you see, this thing, so you can put this one up here. This thing could just come walking over a hilltop like a mech warrior. Yeah, the Trivers are all switch machines. They're a top and a bottom, and they can pass their tops and bottoms around. Anyway, I got a point to make once I put these legs together. So usually you can't put two bottoms together because they're a socket and a socket, so it's going to mostly be like balance and intent. But some of these Powered Convoy pieces like have little bridging bits that like might start to facilitate being able to fuse a bottom to a bottom. Okay, so Battle Convoy is these two vehicles, right? The one that goes brum and then this one that goes swoosh. powered grater also has two vehicles. It has its own one that goes swoosh, right? So there's these two. And then it has its own one that goes vroom, which is this one. So there's these two, right? So you can have these come rolling out as like 4 vehicles. But then also... you can take this thing, and much like on X1 event, like later on in the life of the line, this thing can just start flying around as a drone, right? It's going and like flinging a sword for another one to catch or something. And then like these two can glom together in kind of the shape of a truck, right? And then these two can also glom together as a giant flying tank wedge, right? But then you can also take these two and glom them together into a bigger jet, or you can take these two and glom them together into a bigger truck. Or you could take this thing and turn it into a legless, weird robot body and then fire the butt off of this one and stick it on there as legs to have like a little walker guy who's about the same size as Battle Convoy. So there's like all these like layers and etceteras on the set that like some of them I knew, but like there were still parts of this set that even this many years later, after just having spectated it for years and years on YouTube, I was still like, wait, it does that too? It does this too? And I was getting all like lost in the sauce. And so like for instance, and so where does this thing come in? Like number one, you could, with the pegs up, pop this bit off, and it has a second top peg there. So this thing is like able to hook onto a top peg, and then it lengthen the reach of a top peg for a top machine. But you can also just have this block chilling out for a sec, because then you take like this little guy here, and you slot these off the back, give them a little rotatey, pop this cockpit out, then take this bigger one from Powered Grater, flip out a funny little hidden connector back here that I didn't notice until I was already here messing with the toy before the toy show, going like, hey, wait, what's this? On the knockoff, the whole unit sometimes comes out when I try to flip it out. But you flip up a pair of pegs here, you take this hunk from Battle Convoy, gloms into there, and then you take the Powered Grater cockpit, glom it into there, and now you've got powered vehicle, right, number one, or greater vehicle number one. But then, what do you do with all the bits that fell off of this one? You take the L block, right? Stick that cockpit on here, stick the two little sets of winglets into here. We bump these forward a bit and they stay a bit more rigid. And now you've just got this weird little airplane thing from all the leftover bits. So freaking cool. If you take the bits off of here that are going to pop off when you do the land vehicle glomming, you can take this, stick this up here too, empower this vehicle, if you will, with laser guns. So all the leftover bits off Battle Convoy glom onto the L frame, and now you've got this little, like, woo, little fighter thing. Like this little shmup cannon. And friggin' the coolest friggin' glom of them all still is this one, in my opinion. You take the greater vehicle, right, and the battle vehicle, have this little VTOL thing fly off of it, right? And then on the knockoff, this is a little difficult because all of these holes in the knockoff are slightly undersized but stretchable. And you have like 8 pegs that need to enter into them. So you kind of just, You kind of just align everything and push. And now on mine, it'll suck on, but I have to, like, disassemble it off of this after I do that. So that thing just glommed into there, but then freaking check this out, okay? So you got all these wheels everywhere, right? What if friggin' you see those little spinny hooklets in there? One of those fit into those hubcap holes, right? So that stamps onto there. This one stamps onto there. Same story back here. Stamps on. This one stamps on. So now all the spinning wheels are unified. You take your VTOL. The VTOL uses a top plug to go into a bottom hole. You flip out another pair of covers. Yeah, there we go. Ugh. Like, look at this glorious thing, this, like, caterpillar smasher. Anyway, I'm elated that the knockoff and these parts all still play nice. Because I was like, the farther into these layers I go, the more that the knockoff's weird little, like, proclivities might start turning into disaster for the greater good. But the disaster never came. It was just that one loose cockpit connection. And so now you've got this fleet of different vehicles flying around. And then... I forgot, you can also fold out some extra feet down here to match up with the little skis. Right, so this can just, like, sit somewhere. Can they all combine vehicularly, you ask? Let me tell you a thing or two. Let's rail slide all of this stuff back. Get these wings up out of the way for a sec. So that peg, and then this little, like, ditch. You go front and then plug it in like that. Now you just got this giant Destructo truck. I can go, like, rolling along, doing whatever it wants to do. If you want it to start flying, just pop the wings. Hit all the boosters, this thing just comes flying right at you up in the sky, and you're like, oh, cool, I'm dead. Because this fires out the cockpit. I don't know if you remember that there was a little robot buried in all this once upon a time called Battle Convoy. And like, friggin' check this out. Check this out. Because you're like, oh, now there's an exposed wheel up here because these are going to become hip skirts. No. Flip up. Flip and up. What about this wheel? Folds in. Never to be seen again. Well, it will be seen again, but gets out of the way. Something's up with this ratchet, actually. Feeling funky. I need to check that later. There we go. Oh, a screw is loose. Weird. Anyway. Maximum truck walk. Ugh. Ugh. And then they got these, number one, claws, if you want. But then also you got these more impressive hands. And then the cool finale bit. Turn these up. It's a two-layer in like that. Yeah, like that. And then that is the powered convoy setup. Yeah, something's up with one of these ratchets, though. It's making spooky noises at me. This one I used. There we go. Hot live repair action. And if you wanted to be a little bit less... Oh yeah, also, these things fold up and click in, which is kind of fun. If you wanted to be a little bit less, like, loudly heavy on the bottom visually, you can give them little feet. You know, it's an option. Give them teeny tiny little feet and long legs. So he's a big, strong boy. And then if you really want to... there is a black repaint. It's spread across 2 very expensive toys now. Hopefully the knockoffs will do a black repaint. You can stick this and clasp this in to have, like, the second pilot up and back as, like, a... You know, like they're manning some of the firearms or something. I'm still here. Oh, this thing's really cool too, because this is like obviously a big sword, but no matter which of these handles you rotate down, they always end up in the center. And then this is something I just found out trying to use this to power up just Battle Convoy, because, you know, this pegs together with, like, alternating pegs, right? So if you put these into the sides of things, they're off slightly. I didn't realize this till I was like, huh, this is a separate plastic piece. This, on both of them, this thing can just rotate so that now it's symmetrical. And, like, that's super friggin' cool. And then this handle can rotate out on either of these individually, as well as a gun or as, like, a smaller blade. But this little individual rotator thing is like, this specifically, like, really tickles my neurons. Oh yeah, the sword can also go on the big vehicular thingamathing. There's this thing that the little other cockpit went onto can hold the shield piece with these tabs. And this thing split in half could just peg on either side. Also, this thing is a shield, right? It's a shield, but then these flip-out wings actually can unite up here. So it's like a punch dagger, too. So there is, like, a hope, you know, that the people who did the POP-01 knockoff do Powered Greater, but also Powered Greater is relying on more precision that I'm not sure the knockoff folks who did POP-01 can actually achieve. So I'd love for them to try, but I would say my expectations of it working are way less. Because Battle Convoy is inherently a more simple figure. Also, pretty good hand, all things considered. Because they built it so it looks like a really solid fist, and then it can open up all the way. The index finger's separate, and the thumb can go up like that. So you can do the whole dynamic, like, it's over there. And if you put the thumb down before you fold them all in again, it looks like a very convincing clenched fist to me. Yeah, it doesn't have any splay, unfortunately. Can you touch tips? It's tricky. There is so much in the front. No. There's so much in the front. You'd have to come up with a special bespoke... Well, let's see. Let's see. You can definitely get close. And the rear pilot here is just going like, what are you doing? You know, like, what? They're shooting at us. What are you doing? Okay, if he raises them up like a matrix of leadership, he can touch his fingertips. That face when your ample chest makes arm movement limited. Yeah, he can't really. He can do a very dramatic ooh woo if he's holding his hands above his head. But yeah, this is kind of the other most important piece of intel on the Popo 1 knockoff, which is like, can it actually integrate with the real powered grater? And I'm very happy to report it can. And if you loosen 4 screws and stick a couple, just a little bit, just so this can squish back together a little bit, and stick a pair of little plastic shims in there, so far, it seems like it harmlessly works. Hopefully this doesn't like snap apart or something due to this introduced tension, but it's not fighting me a ton. And the other kind of cool thing is like the wings and these arms both use the rail system, so you can then attach them if you want, like rail slide them in to any open rail space on a Dia Battles or a Big Powered or a Battle Buffalo, and you get all that interplay with that stuff too. Or you can take their things and rail slide them on here and just have Battle Convoy have like extra arms back there, which could also look really cool. We're from divergent design paths. You got me. You got me. You're all about making sense and having little guys inside you, and me, I turn into a truck. Why? I don't know. You got me. Caught. Post their universe decimal numbers. I will leave that up to somebody else. But yeah, quite a successful toy day. Had some good times with all my figures. The Q crew rised up. He's here to give you the big long blap blap. Yeah, Prima's like, got one of these. And this guy's like, I literally am one of those. Hi, it's me. I am, air quotes, Battle Convoy right over here. Is me. Hello. Hi there. I'm John Battle Convoy. I wonder. No, I don't think I can fit the Matrix in there well. Bun Yeast. I haven't gotten any recent Toku toys. No, I'm. My current Tokusatsu toy thing is I'm starting to consider backtracking into Sodo Geats. but with a heavy dose of, like, realistic expectation. There, look, it's Optimus Prime. He just chucks it into the season. I don't know, throw it in there. There, it's now I'm the leader. Prima's just like, I'm sure this will work. Doesn't even close. Doesn't even close unless you just try harder and ignore the noises. Oh yeah, Alex Lemons, I would like to eventually like shoot nice video or nicer modern videos for most of the Unicron trilogy because it would be fun, I think. I didn't bring my camera with me on this trip because of my 20.5 kilos of Lego I brought to sell. And so I thought I'd try filming. I filmed the packaging photos for the box shred subjects today on my phone. So I was considering like maybe I'll try filming a Unicron trilogy toy just with my phone to do all the B-roll and everything. I just find that like the lack of manual controls is incredibly irritating to me now. Because, like, I can't lock focus, I can only kind of lock exposure, and it seems to still flicker. I can't tweak the white balance, and, like, at least in, like, the basic, like, iPhone, you know, photo app. So, filming the packaging B-roll for these was already, like, and I've done that before with this phone, in a pinch at, like, a convention. But I was like, this is really annoying. So I might wait until the next time I come out here and bring my DSLR with me, so I can do it more comfortably. But I don't know. I might change. I'm still here for a few more days. I might change my mind. Armada Laserbeak. The people want to know, you know. I don't have a Power Links Demolisher. I don't think I bought any of the Power Links repaints from Energon or Armada, unless I'm forgetting one. Back then I was all like, repaints? I already have that mold, and I simply crave more molds. That ginger ale is pretty heavily articulated. It fits perfectly into my esophagus, and I don't have to like lubricate the joints at all. I just pour it in, and it's buttery. It assumes the shape and goes down. I'm thinking, my thinking is, in a perfect world, I want to just do a review of Armada Optimus Jetfire and Overload, because my Armada Optimus works still. But now that I've tried filming B-roll on my phone again over here, I'm like, I think I need my real camera for it. So I gotta take the batteries out. And something I still want to do is I want to go through all my Energon toys, because I forgot a bunch of those, and a bunch of Armada toys have AAA batteries in them. I forgot completely until the other month. So I want to go through and pull all those out, so I don't have to think about them. But otherwise, it's going to be, I guess, whatever sparks inspiration. I still have 3 G1 things fully shot too. I have to write scripts for. So I'm not hurting for footage. Yeah, I have all the molds from Superlink technically, in their Energon versions. I don't have the Grimlock and Swoop, and I don't have Alpha Quintus on. But I think I have everything else. It's just all in bins in the basement out here. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to film anything on this visit, because like the phone filming situation is worse than I thought. It's his legal name in this part of the province. We're working on it though. Yeah, I think I saw Alpha Q like once in a bay or something. Hudson's Bay Company department store. But I never bought him. Ooh. All that diet cloning. Woohoo! Kind of takes you out of it for a second. Oh yeah, this is the real Alpha Q. If you know what I'm saying, Q crew. Isn't it weird what happened with Hudson's? I mean, I watched Hudson's Bay slowly die for over a decade, so I'm no longer surprised what's happening with them. Like we had the other Bay Center out here in the island since like the 90s. But the department store has been kind of a shambles for a very, very long time. Like out here we had the Bay and we had Eaton's. And I watched them go from fixtures to suffering to zombies to dead. And in the case of the Bay, it's, you know, I'm no expert. In the case of the Bay, though, it's very much the Bay's own doing, in my opinion. I don't know, they never adjusted for the times, they never adjusted for their demographics, they just kept kind of like doggedly just having expensive things. And then when they were suffering, they were like, well, we have expensive things? I know, I could have prevented it if I simply gave them all my money and... if I simply gave them all my money and just shut up. I could have stopped this. It's because I kept running my mouth. The main thing that's a bummer out here is that the structures that the Bay occupied, a lot of those things, I'm always like, you know, these could really have a hand in solving the colossal homeless problem and the very ineffective way that the city and a lot of its populace tend to think of trying to solve that problem. But instead, they just aren't. I don't know. You get a lot. I feel like, you know, classism is everywhere, but out here the classism just feels like uglier whenever I see it. Because it's like, how do you put it? It's somehow more stupid. Like out here, there's a tent city that is set up on several blocks, surrounded by owned and abandoned buildings that are doing nothing. And it's like, oh, look at that. Hundreds, if not thousands of people who are homeless, surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands of domiciles and empty spaces that are covered in barbed wire and fences. If only there was any possible way that these two things could somehow coalesce together into a solution. It's impossible, though, I guess. Whoa. And then depending who you speak to, like, there are some folks who live, like, out in, you know, the distant, like, Elk Lake type areas who will then spread rumors of, like, you know, I once drove by the tent city and a wild homeless man ran up to my car and tore the door off the hinges, frothing at the mouth with the methamphetamine. And it's like, it's really not, that did not happen to you. Ever. I walked through the tent city going home, like, one time last year, and, like, here's the big spooky thing that happens is when you walk through the tent city to go home in the middle of the day, people get out of the way because they're in the middle of having conversations with their friends. And if you're walking, they will, as people tend to do, step to one side so you walk past because they're in the middle of a conversation with their friends. That's it. So it's very silly. And extremely stupid. A wild homeless was in my closet. So this is many years ago, but I just always remember one time I was like downtown out here years ago, and there were these two just completely happy guys just sitting on the corner with a sign saying, "Hey, you got any spare change?" And they were just hanging out. And they were by a fancy pants Scottish pub, and then out of the pub comes this lady, you know, who glances at these two, and they're both sitting there just having a good time talking to each other. She walks up and she goes like, "Why don't you two try getting a job?" And their response was they burst out laughing in her face and she walked away. And I was like, yeah, that's just the whole conversation right there, isn't it? Yeah, it's very silly. Every time I come to visit, we always will drive through, you know, spooky Pandora. And I always report to my friends, especially those who have older relatives out here who believe in the tales of the gamma irradiated homeless or whatever. And I'm always like, "Oh, I got a big update for you. We survived driving through Pandora again." They took one of the wheels off the car, but Star Convoy's a 13. Yeah, I believe so. Well, Star Optimus Prime. Yeah, it's just the gall, like the sheer unmitigated gall of this like lady in her like I was just like a purple like vest or parka or windbreaker or something, just walking up and go like, "Hey you," you know, as though she was about to change their lives with this statement. Like, "Why don't you try getting a job?" And then the two guys just the way they didn't even reply. They just burst out laughing and continued their conversation. It was so great. Emojis. Yeah, I only like saying Star Optimus Prime because I figured out how to make the syllables come out of my mouth, and it tends to have that effect on people, AK Lord. It's actually, specifically, it's Transformers Generations, Age of the Primes, Titan Class, Star Optimus Prime from the 13. Technically, actually, I got that wrong. It's Transformers Generations, Age of the Primes, Titan Class, the 13, Star Optimus Prime. Because they all say the 13 as a prefix. TM! Yeah, people don't know what emoticons are now. Well, some of them they still do. We preserved a few of them. Colon 3, I think, managed to escape an emoji fate. Anyway, my face is falling apart. So I think I'm going to. I don't have the ability to play the music smoothly here. Mac OS is weird about desktop audio. So I will simply I'll simply do a little sign off from here. Let's get everyone in view. I'm so excited to stop experiencing snot. I'm so hyped for it. It's gonna be so cool. Yeah, let's do the plug. Right. Hey, it seems, when I checked earlier today, it seems that my June Toy Hacks code is working already. So, the Toy Hacks code for June is Vangelus. Because it's Pride Month in 2 days. I always forget when that is, so I was like, what happens in June? And so it was like Pride Month. Alright. Vangelus, because I like to think I'm Demi many things. So that's our coupon code for the month of June. The coupon code Mother Vangelus for the month of May, I'm happy to report, did real well. So hopefully it continues, because then it pays for my utilities, which is always cool. Anyway, yeah. Other plans. I scripted and recorded the audio for the Bone Crusher review, and then didn't get to film any of it before I flew out here. So that one's in progress. So Bone Crusher and the Gravity Builder boys, they're all in progress. Lots of gears are turning. I have edited the next PowerPoint night. I'm saving it for next month. But I have one more after that to edit, and then we're caught up on PowerPoint night. And I gotta make shorts versions of those. I'm thinking of trying to fire out some kind of... I want to do more stream excerpts like the hydropods. So I'm gonna try to like just figure out, without trying to put too much thought into it, like a couple of those, because the hydropods one did really well, all things considered. And there still are less than 1,000 people who tend to watch the streams. Therefore, that should be a couple thousand people who get shocked when they see a stream excerpt going like, when did this happen? Was this recorded originally for me to watch? And it's like, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Long was here. Yeah, the Scooby-Doo one and the one after it, I think, are two of the weakest ones performance-wise for me. But also, I said this on the Discord, I'm not here to post the wins, I'm here to share the experience. So I'm still going to put all of them up. The next one, also just, it was a very quiet PowerPoint night. There are simply way fewer people present that night, so it is a much quieter video. But I still like my bit. There were some parts of it that still made me smile when I did the edit. The one after that, though, whoa. The one from May 2025, that's one of my faves. And it turned out the topic I got was one that was submitted by our very own Coach Dimfna of the Elden Ring stream. So I was like, did I do well? Did I do it right? Polar bears. You should consider... Oh, no, there's a part in the next one where, just as I tend to do, I hit a line where I yelled it, but the room was so quiet, it sounds like I terrified everyone into silence. So, you know, be prepared for some of those good awkward pauses. And proceed. Behold how one perhaps simply continues on through an awkward pause. But yeah, the next thing I post is probably going to be either stream excerpt. If I get really inspired, I'm still thinking, like, can I crack off one more video before June 1st? And I'm thinking of trying to write a script for one of the G1 toys I filmed a couple months back, because all the footage is done. So I'll see what my brain wants to do, but you know, just kind of roll with it. Lots of things in progress, thank goodness. So there's no like giant hole opening in front of me of like, you have nothing. But yeah, other than that, also might, depending how my mom feels, might do a fun little short stream with her to crack open some Lego things. Give you all some comforting mom voice. But that's her call. Atom Heart. Oh, Adam should have been Atom. I get it. I did sell most of the Lego kilos, by the way, so hey, I can fill in a few more of the gaps in the new mission that I suddenly decided to take on of trying to provide some chunks of somewhat comprehensive English language Diaclone coverage. I forgot that we did live streams before the pandemic. But yeah, those are all. I think those are even all still in the playlist if I added things right. Some of them don't show up in the dashboard easily for me, but that's YouTube systems are so great. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. I'm gonna set this thing up to end, which means I need to go to this tab over here. All right. As soon as I see myself say it, I'll click the button. So let's all say it together. Will the real cum stainy please wipe up? Please wipe